Hey, what's up guys, John here. The convenience store Sheetz, S-H-E-E-T-Z, they have 25,000 employees and they're now being sued for discriminating based on an employer's criminal record.
The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed a lawsuit against the Sheetz convenience store chain
for racially discriminatory hiring practices.
If you're a small business owner, you have to pay very close attention to what's happening right now in America's job market, because this change, I'm telling you, is going to be the biggest shift that we're ever going to see with jobs here in America, because it goes a lot bigger than just this lawsuit. What they're saying, I'm going to show you this video. Elon Musk posted this, 27 million views in the last 24 hours. Look at this.
That the way Sheetz bases employment on criminal records disproportionately screens out Black, Native American, and other multiracial applicants, and that this...
And they go on talking about, minorities and migrants and other people that are basically getting pushed out of a job because they have to pass a criminal background check. Now, when you look at what's unfolding, you're going to see something clear, that business owners are being incentivized in a very, very, very large way to fire American workers. I'm not talking hundreds of thousands. I'm talking tens of millions of Americans. It's going to become more expensive, more challenging, and very difficult to keep on an American employee. And in this video, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to show you how these companies are now being financially incentivized and where jobs really are headed that nobody else is talking about. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content, educate more people about what's really going on in the U.S. economy and our labor market. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for what I believe is going to be a massive wealth transfer right in front of us, we'd love to help fix your credit at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in a credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call for tomorrow. Take a look at this. And this is kind of just showing you where the world's headed right now. This just unfolded in Los Angeles. 800,000 views. A lady lost her life, right? A lady lost her life. Take this into consideration, the severity of how big of a deal this is.
It was a man carrying 2 bags. We don't have any other description at this point.
They won't identify the individual. All they'll say is that it's a man carrying 2 bags. In 2025, they will not be able to assume the gender, saying it was a man. They're going to say it was a person's. And what I believe is going to happen is we're walking into something that is going to go from the job market to crime to this new society. And this is how this is all going to work out. So presently, you're seeing workplace discrimination lawsuits increase more than 50%, right? So if you are an employer and you get sued by an employee and they say discrimination, right? That lawyer is going to likely represent that employee, who likely doesn't have much money, for free, and say, you know what, it's free in the beginning, but on the back end, we're going to get 30, we're going to get 40% of whatever we settle for. And then that employer is going to talk to their legal counsel. They're likely going to talk to the insurance company. The insurance company is going to say, look, you're probably in the right, but it's going to cost us, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to see this all the way to trial. And on top of all this, if we end up doing a settlement at the end, or if we end up, losing the case, it could cost you a lot more, plus you're getting a lot of bad publicity along the way. It makes more sense just to settle it. And then the employer is going to go ahead and settle it. The insurance premium is going to go up, and it's going to get harder for that employer, and the lawyer is going to get, paid out really well, and it's going to continue to grow. And so what employers are likely going to start doing is taking this into consideration. And here's what I mean by this. So presently, that store, they have across all their stores, 25,000 employees, right? The average employee earns $11.61 to $20.56. So let's just say, as an average, $16 per hour. That's what the average employee is getting, about $16 per hour. Well, look at this. If they are earning $16 an hour, and that employee is working 40 hours per week, they're making $640 per week. Now, follow me here because this is important. 4 weeks in a month, $2,500 a month, basically, $30,000 a year, right? Now, there's something. It's a tax credit for migrants. If you hire, going from an American to hiring a migrant, you could save $9,600 per employee per year. So what this looks like is, rather than paying an American employee $30,720, you could take that tax credit of $9,600, and instead you'd only pay $21,000 for the same work from a migrant, right? So you would save 31% hiring a migrant, right? So for every 68 cents you would pay a migrant, you would pay 100 cents for an American, right? So just looking at how fast this is compounding. That's why you're hearing about Tyson Foods hiring 40,000, migrants, and you're hearing Disney and you're hearing all these companies. They're doing it for a reason, because it pays. It pays in a very, very, very big way. All of these companies are all doing the same exact thing. It just financially makes sense, but it's not a really big win for America. In fact, it's a bad situation for a lot of American jobs, because a lot of the service jobs are going to get disrupted. We're going to start to see a lot of these companies starting to likely report their percentages of their hires. How many minorities are working for this organization? How many migrants are working for this organization? How many men? How many women? How many? Everything is going to start to get documented, and ultimately will go into a diversity, equity, and inclusion score. So it will no longer be based on the capacity and capabilities of an employee. It will likely go more in this direction. This is where we're headed. And so what I believe is likely going to happen next is we're going to begin to see these business owners look for a way in which they can reduce their exposure to lawsuits, to problems. And so what they're going to start to do is this. They're going to begin moving into robots and humanoid robots, AI, generative AI, outsourcing talent overseas. They're going to do everything they can do to reduce exposure. Look at this. I mean, Amazon they already have 750,000 robots. They have about 1.1 million employees, 750,000 robots. Tesla, they're heavily a robotics company, even in their own factories, right? A lot of companies are moving into this. Look at this. This is on Lex Friedman's Instagram. What they're doing is they're even inside of these humanoid robots, they're putting in OpenAI. So you look at how fast this transition is going to be moving, and then you see what many of other states are doing. Like, for example, California. California is increasing the cost of minimum wage workers to $20 per hour. What is likely going to happen? California fast food workers are going to get pushed out of business, and they're going to push into AI. They're going to push into humanoid robots and automations, right? So when you see what's unfolding in this convenience store with 25,000 employees, what's happening across all these large corporations, all the tax credits that are being incentivized, you can see pretty clearly what's going to be happening to the American worker. The basic American worker is going to be put in a very difficult position. And the big question I have to ask myself is, if the cost of living is rising every single day, inflation is getting worse, food prices are going up, insurance is going up, and stuff like this is unfolding, how can this be good for our standard of living, right? I personally think what we're going to likely walk into is a game of survival of the fittest the next year or two. And we're going to walk into some very, very challenging times in which I believe everyone should position and prepare themselves for. If you're a business owner, pay very close attention to, what's unfolding, to position yourself and your business for all of this change. If you're thinking about investing in real estate, you're thinking about doing anything, follow this. If you're a business owner, make sure you're following all this so you can make smart, well-informed decisions and investments based on trajectory of our labor market. I believe what we're going to likely see here is many businesses going out of business over the next couple of years, many large corporations seeing this as an opportunity to where they can start merging into other industries and automating the entire process. It wouldn't even surprise me if we start seeing a lot of these companies, a lot of different companies, finding ways in which they can disrupt all these other industries, and really just kind of see a scenario where maybe there's 100, 200, 300, 500 corporations that are now entering all these different industries using AI, using technology, being able to basically take over market share, right? That's ultimately what I think is going to happen. We're going to walk into a situation where America in the past was the land of opportunity, the place where everyone would go for a place to be able to, pave their way, to a place where America is no longer the land of the free, home of the brave, no longer the place where people are going to be able to come here from a different country and be able to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, raise their children here with goals of sending them to college and giving them a bright future. It's going to be the land of the 1%, land of the 2%. That's what I think we're walking into. That's why I think the next 24 to 36 months are going to be more important than any other time in history. Like, you build out wealth now, you build out your systems in place now, you do everything you need to do now so that when we walk into this disruption, you're positioned for it. What do you think about this entire situation? What do you think about this lawsuit? Do you think this lawsuit is a sign of the times, or you think this is a one and done situation that's going to fade away, and things aren't going to get crazier than this? Let's have a conversation down below. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for funding, maybe a business loan, a line of credit to invest in distressed real estate, buy a car, buy a work truck, we'd love to help fix your credit. If you have any credit issues, if you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any issue at all in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free call for tomorrow, for Tuesday. I'll catch you next video.